This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Government presents 450,000 Kenas coffee freight subsidy. Students urged to participate in SMEs and cultural festivals to support cruise ship tourism. A very good evening and happy Easter. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Police on Daru Island in the South Fly district of Western Province have confirmed that a youth was killed last night and police investigations are underway. This incident has instigated a fight involving youths within Daru town. Police officers are currently on the ground to contain the situation.
The police officers were trying to stop the youths from damaging public properties in the town area but were outnumbered. This follows the passing of a teenage boy believed to be from Ture Kona in one of the settlements in Daru, whose body was found outside at one of the lodges in town early hours of this morning. The fight started last night and continued today. According to Provincial Police Commander for North Flight Command, Senior Inspector Oina Afeke, investigations are currently underway to establish the cause of the death. Inspector Oina Afeke, in a phone interview today, says he is yet to get the full details of the situation, adding that some members of the PNG Defence Force based in Kyonga have already been dispatched to Daru to help contain the current situation on the ground.
First thing first is for reinforcement to get in there so that we try to cool the situation, that is to make sure that we bring it to normalcy from violence, a continuation of violence and so forth. So that program has already been put in place, and our DF with the two sanctioned by our divisional commander and Commissioner for Police, and our PNG contingent is traveling in there.
PPC Afeke is calling on all people to maintain peace.
All our people in Western Province, that's inclusive of Daru Island, has been Christian nation. They are enjoying this Easter weekend, and when such things happen, does not tell the status as we are Christians. We should just, people should just give up, say sorry, forget, and allow normalcy to return.
Police officers in Daru are currently monitoring the situation and are also calling on all residents in South Fly district not to take laws into their own hands.
Police are retreating, they have been overpowered.
Jim John, National EMTV News.
As the country celebrates Easter long weekend, Sky Health Medical Service is advising all citizens to celebrate safely and take care of themselves in this Easter season.
Dr. Lawrence Toror, medical officer with the Sky Health Medical Service, says the country's health systems are under-resourced and thus people have to take care of themselves.
Health systems are under-resourced or understaffed, so we don't have that capacity to provide good coverage of health to our people.
He said not many people have access to basic health services in the country.
Not everyone in our country has good access to health for various reasons. So that's one thing that we should really seriously take into consideration, the theme.
With the country celebrating the Easter season and long weekend, Dr. Toror urged people to take care of themselves while celebrating.
To celebrate in moderation, make sure we are safe, make sure that our health is not compromised.
Sky Health Medical Services is located at 8 Mile in Port Moresby. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
Students attending the various institutions within the country have been urged to use their skills and knowledge to get involved in small businesses. after completing their studies. This will help reduce the high unemployment rate faced in the country.
Prime Minister James Marape is encouraging students to get involved in business activities that will lead to more employment opportunities. He was speaking after meeting the Student Representative Council presidents of major universities at the University of Papua New Guinea last Wednesday.
Look at how you could use your education as a basis to create employment for yourself and create employment for those who are less fortunate we have in our society, your cousins, your tribespeople. They will learn, for goodness sake. We don't learn. No other citizen on planet Earth, they have land like we don't learn. That land becomes a tourism.
He added that citizens should use available resources around them, like different cash crops, marine resources and others that will generate an income for them.
Parents should be engaged in agriculture. We do not have any place to get engaged in. And if 10,000 families are producing, one family eats 15 bags or 20 bags of coffee, you are contributing positively to your economy and to your country.
PM Marape gave assurance to student leaders and citizens that the Marape-Rosso government will do its best to follow the policies governing our country as guidance to address current national issues affecting the lives of ordinary Papua New Guineans. Jim John, National EMTV News.
On the official launch of the Samurai Murua Island Song, Music and Dance Festival recently this week, the National Cultural Commission has presented a dummy check of 10,000 kina in support to them. The Samurai Murua Festival will be held towards the end of this month, an initiative by the Samurai Murua District Development Authority. Present to officiate the event was Samurai Murua MP and Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, and National Cultural Commission Executive Director Stephen Kilanda.
Samurai Murua District Authority will host its Island Song, Music and Dance Festival by the end of this month. This will be the time Milne Bay Province to showcase its culture and traditions. The official launch of the festival was on Thursday, the 6th of April 2023, where the National Cultural Commission presented a dummy check of 10,000 kina to the festival organizers. Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture and member for Samurai Murua, E.C. Henry Leonard, acknowledged the support shown by the Cultural Commission. Minister Leonard said the funding by the Cultural Commission is significant, and he has also called for support from others like the national government to show their support. He said the festival is a tourist attraction because of three important factors, that is music and song and dance in true cultural style. As minister responsible for tourism, arts and culture, he explained.
So for me as tourism minister, I'd like to do this program in my district towards the end of this month. Towards the end of this month, we will host Samuai Murua Islands music, song and dance in our district. And I believe through festival, we unite our people. We unite our people, we bring them together, they express themselves, and we can celebrate, appreciating each other.
He gave an overview of the festival's program and the progress thus far.
While in the district, I'll be having people coming from the Bonabonas. So in the district, we have already started preparing. At our district headquarters in Bogoy on Misim Island, there's a team on the ground. They've done all the very important preparations. Stage has been set, lightings have been set, and our people on the ground are preparing.
Executive Director of the National Cultural Commission, Stephen Kilanda, reiterated on the importance of hosting PNG cultural festivals.
Festival is very, very important tool of strategy to preserve and safeguard our culture. It's a life language. Life language is very, very important. So we must encourage our people around the country to host the festivals.
Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
The Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, when speaking on the significance of having cultural festivals in PNG, explained that it provides huge opportunity for tourism. He described cruise ship tourism as being one of them.
Tourism cruise ships have arrived on the shores of Milne Bay Province to visit the culturally diversified island province at the tip of Papua New Guinea. Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, made this statement and elaborated on this during a keynote address at the launching of the Samurai Murua Island Song, Music and Dance Festival.
Cruise ship tourism has come in a very, very tremendous way, never experienced before. After we have lifted the COVID-19 restrictions in Alotau, more cruise ships are coming and more cruise ship tourists are now visiting Papua New Guinea.
Minister Leonard, in a recent visit to Alotau, shared his observation on the impact of tourism culture.
A few days ago in Alotau, and I was surprised to see that some of our people in Alotau, they had American dollar bills. They had $50, $20, $10, $2. And I asked them, where did you get those monies from? From tourists. They were buying services and goods in Alotau using US dollar.
He said it is of the ministry's agenda to promote culture by going rural.
As Mr. Kalanda has already mentioned, we want to engage with the provinces and we want to go rural. And as we go rural, we promote our culture. And this is exactly what we are doing. For me, when I took on the responsibility of becoming the Minister for Art, Culture and Tourism, I took the challenge that we must go rural.
The Executive Director of the National Cultural Commission, Stephen Kilanda, added on this.
But when Minister took office, he said that we have to go rural. So we have registered around about 85 festivals around the country. Most of them are based in the rural settings. We have went to Lugu. Minister and I went to Lugu. We have been to Bali Island in Western Province. We have been to Muni in Malay Province. We have been to Ned Lema in border of Anga and Civic. We have been to Jing in Eastern Island Province. We have been to all rural areas across this nation.
Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. As part of the government's vision towards subsidizing freight costs for remote areas, the Coffee Minister, Joe Cooley, has presented 450,000 kina as freight subsidy support to various freight agencies to roll out this program.
Recipients of the first lot of this funding included Missionary Aviation Fellowship, who received 200,000 kina, and Consort Shipping Express with 80,000 kina. Minister Cooley said MAF has contributed a lot to the development of this country, where there are no roads and bridges. MAF has been there in the forefront to provide the much-needed service and commended them. Minister Cooley says as the minister responsible for coffee, he will look at best ways to improve and support the coffee sector.
When I'm having a coffee, I get me survey. So now I start the price. The next month or after next month, when we support the price, coffee price support them stop yet. I will not finish them stop. We have no way to replacing them stop yet. Replating, sealing, radio station, or this by staff. So, you know, by the multiple legal man, but the same life no more. The kind of no props, but the coffee and by people supporting coffee price, and the mayor, I know, sir.
Coffee Industry Corporation CEO Charles Dambui highlighted on the long-standing partnership with MAF.
Looking for potential partners for coffee, like I said already, and we've got a potential partner which we are now partnering here. And this the first payment, Minister, by working a total of 450,000 and by paying all of various freight agencies. So for the MAF, only 200,000 income. That's the first start. And I give him, and then Osanem talk finish, time money finish, let us know. So it's an ongoing program, Marape Rosso government, and we're pretty sure that funding will be made available in subsequent years, including this year.
He says with the government's interest now to partner with the airline freighters to bring in coffee from remote areas, MAF is not a mistake to be selected, as it has been in the country for a long time and reaching out to the most remote areas. MAF Country Director said that the airline has truly invested in serving remote communities, and it was encouraging for them to see the government invest in this kind of opportunity to help move produce to the markets.
So thank you. And you have our pledge that those funds will be used exactly as you have requested. And as I shared earlier, we keep very close accounting and reporting, and at any point in time, we're very happy to show you which communities were impacted by those subsidy funds.
The check presentation was done by Mr. Cooley at the MAF headquarters in Mount Hagen recently. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
The Papua New Guinea Forest Authority has had a very fruitful first quarter for 2023, according to the Managing Director of the National Forest Service, John Mosoro. Mr. Mosoro made the comments when addressing his staff on Thursday, 6th of April 2023, during an Easter lunch before releasing them for the long weekend.
Since the Prime Minister James Marape's visit to the PNG Forestry Authority in September last year and getting down to the brass tacks, the PNGFA has emerged from that visit as a leading government department.
Our resources are being plundered at minimal return to our economy, and I'm serious about this and I want to fix it up.
The Managing Director, John Mosoro, who has been leading from the front, thanked his officers and directors for the work they have done before dismissing them prior to the Easter long weekend.
Now reach almost the first quarter of this year, and during this quarter I have realized that we have achieved a lot of things for 2023. And one of those significant issues that I want to mention to you all today during the Easter period is we had a good coordinated teamwork throughout the first quarter of this year.
The major achievements achieved so far that the PNGFA MD, Mr. Mosoro, mentioned included the launching of the PNGFA 2021 to 2022 annual report on the 24th of March 2023. State Marketing Agency is one of the submissions. Mr. Mosoro said that the SMA is stated in the Forestry Act 1991 as amended, but it hasn't been implemented over the last 30 years.
In addition to the quarter achievements, as you all know that we have managed to make some major government decisions with forestry. For this year, we have launched our annual plan. We launched it just within the time where the government is about to close for carriers and all that. And I want to thank especially those people who took the lead and who have time to produce our annual report on time.
4 other submissions have also been completed in the first quarter, and they are National Forest Development Program 2023 to 2027, reduction in log export tax to revert back to the existing NEC decision number 139 2021, appointment of organizational representatives to the National Forestry Board, and the Forestry Corporation Memorandum of Understanding signed between the PNGFA and the Australian Government through its Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry. Also in this quarter, the PNGFA website was launched on the 23rd of February 2023. Regarding Easter, the PNG Forestry Authority Managing Director John Mosoro said it is for everyone, particularly those that have grudges against family and work colleagues, to seek forgiveness and find a way to work and live together. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
According to Ms. Deborah Sungi, Climate Change Development Authority Acting General Manager, the establishment of Provincial Climate Change Committee in all 22 provinces is important as it will play a significant role to implementing climate change actions and targets all throughout the country.
According to Deborah Sungi, climate change is a cross-cutting issue that requires collaborative efforts from all individuals to combat climate change. Due to capacity challenges, it is paramount that Provincial Climate Change Committee is established in all 22 provinces to effectively implement government actions on climate change.
The establishment of the Provincial Climate Change Committees is one of the important role of Climate Change and Development Authority. It is as per our mandate to ensure that we establish the committees in the province, given that climate change is a cross-cutting issue and it is evidently felt all across the country, and at the national level we cannot be at the provinces every week or every month, but we have to ensure that we have the face of CCDA within the province.
Climate Change Development Authority, as the nationally designated authority under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, have the responsibility to report to the UNFC.
So the national communications reporting covers the biannual update reports and the national communication itself, which contains the status of implementation, our government's action on climate change, how far we have managed to address the climate change issues and priorities, and what areas that we still see as gaps, and how the international community can assist us in terms of funding, in terms of resources to ensure that we implement our climate change actions and targets. So that is an important role that CCDA plays.
One of the important aspects of establishing the PCCC is to ensure that there is direct representation in annual work plans and budgeting of the provincial governments, and the committee are vocal in climate change actions at the provincial level.
Annual work plans in the annual budgeting of the provincial governments, we wanted to ensure that the representation is there to be focal in terms of having to put forward climate change actions in the provincial level. So it is budgeted under each of the provincial priorities. So that is another aim of establishing the Provincial Climate Change Committees.
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
Berina Police received a much-needed Easter present from the Kairuku District Development Authority under the initiative of Kairuku Open MP Peter Isuaimo when they were presented with a police vehicle to carry out their duties. Lack of manpower in recent times has seen a rise in law and order issues, and the new single cab ute will help curb the law and order situation in the district.
All decked out in balloons and streamers and horns blaring, the small team made up of the member for Kairuku Open, Peter Isuaimo, and his delegation hit the Hiritano Highway for Berina. The 4-hour trip ended when the entourage pulled into the premises of the Berina police station. Before the official ceremony for handing over the keys, the member for Kairuku Hiri reminded the police officers and those present to use the vehicle for its intended purposes.
What we want discouraged by you people is use it only for police worker. Let's stop this habit of loading families and boy market and whatever else should never be entertained. You guys been off-road for some time now, so this is one of the district vehicles that's been lying around.
The Karaku MP urged the policemen at Paraina to be careful when handling the vehicle until new ones can be bought.
We get it serviced and refurbished and returned to them. Just use these ones for the time being until we are financially ready to buy strong cars like in the meantime, to have nothing at all is not nice. So at least to attend to serious law and order issues in the nearby villages, in the 3 LLGs of Kuni, Nakeo and Kairuku LLG areas. Look after it. That's just all I can advise everyone.
Tuaisi Taylor, the officer in charge, expressed his gratitude for the donation and revealed that manpower is a problem in the district, and with the presentation of the vehicle, they should see a curb in crime.
Now it has come to our stance that we are happy that you've been you're now presenting a vehicle to us to carry on with our law and order issues in Kairuku. I will not say much, just an appreciation on that. And we'll do our best. The bigger problem that I will now just to let you know is that we are always down with manpower. That's the only issue. But limited manpower, we are trying our best to utilize ourselves.
The Kairuku DDA-funded vehicle will stay in Paraina while the local member Pita Isoaimo has committed to funding more vehicles. Rocky Iso, National MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. The Office of the Attorney General will authorize funding and engagement of lawyers representing the state in each province. This is according to the Minister for Justice and Attorney General, Pela Niningi.
Minister Niningi revealed to the people of Enga, Hela and Southern Highlands provinces recently at Wabek town that provincial and district governments were at times using public money to fund court cases, and this needed scrutiny for all provinces throughout the country. Speaking during the opening of the Ombudsman Commission office, Minister Niningi said the laws have changed.
Why people are making more sense? No name engaging lawyers. Plan the money go. Now me like a controlling system. You can't always let me pass them. Why you must pay? How much you must pay? And this like people are controlling. So this always become. That's why Attorney General office and powerful office.
He also clarified to the people that this rule applies to all provinces. It is understood that most politicians use public funds to support themselves in election petition cases filed against them. With the scrutiny by the Office of the Attorney General, control over public funds in the legal system is hoped to deter such practices. Natasha Ovoy, National MTV News.
And moving to overseas news now, parts of Australia could see record low Easter temperatures, with parts of the countryside to freeze through their coldest Easter in 80 years.
Could deliver Melbourne its coldest Easter Sunday since 1943, with maximum temperatures in the mid-teens, while Hobart is even colder, with temperatures set to reach a maximum of only 13 degrees. And the Bureau of Meteorology says the chilly conditions will continue for a few days.
Temperatures are also likely to be 5 to 10 degrees below average across much of southeastern Australia on Easter Sunday and Easter Monday. And parts of Tasmania could actually see their coldest Easter Sunday on record, only looking at 13 degrees in Hobart, but it might even fall short of that, with most of the day feeling like single digits. So really feeling like winter for southern parts of the country over the coming days.
Taiwan's Navy is on alert as China's forces surround the island from the air and sea in a show of force. 71 fighter jets, bombers and surveillance planes have flown near the self-ruled island.
Taiwan's armed forces are keen to show the 23 million people here that they are up to task to defend this island, as at least 8 Chinese warships, including an aircraft carrier, surround Taiwan. This is all part of an exercise dubbed by Beijing as Joint Sword. The intention is to warn the so-called Taiwanese independence forces to back off and to cut their unofficial ties with the US. Taiwanese Independence Forces is the term Beijing uses for Taiwan's democratically elected government. These exercises are taking place because the President Tsai Ing-wen last week was in the US meeting the top Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Now, you might think that this sort of military intimidation is ruffling feathers here and making people worried. It certainly is putting the military on high alert. But people on the street seem to be pretty calm. They've seen this sort of thing before, including last year when there was a similar high-level meeting. And last year, Beijing fired missiles around this island. So far, we haven't seen any indication of that happening, although there are some smaller live-fire exercises taking place off the Chinese coast. As for Taiwan's government, they say it's China that is disrupting stability in the Taiwan Strait by undertaking these exercises. And being defiant, Taiwan's president has just welcomed another delegation of top American politicians. Both Xi and the visiting congressional delegation pledged to deepen ties in the face of this military intimidation from Beijing.
You're watching National MTV News. Trukai Sports is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. As the 2023 National Souths Basketball League tournament winds down its regular rounds and enters its finals, one team that has maintained straight wins is the Kemele Mendi Menjails. The team is aiming to claim the 2023 title in the National Souths Basketball League competition.
Since the bat year of the National Souths Basketball League tournament, the Kemele Mendi Menjails have been on the show grounds. With a mixture of both experienced and newbies in the courts, the Menjails have been hard at maintaining the top spot in this year's National Souths Basketball League tournament in both their clubs. The code behind the wins for the women's side was revealed by their team captain, Jonita Warabe.
It's not about me as a captain, it's not about me. It's a teamwork. Basketball is a combination of teamwork. So when we put together our skills and talents together, we deserve that win. So I have them, they have me.
This was the same strategy that was used in their men's outfit since the games commenced on Friday. Team manager of the Kemele Mendi Menjails men team, Caspar Messi, explains further.
We've been separated for a very long time. Half of the team we trained at Mendi, half in Mosby. But like the young boys and girls, they have the potentials and abilities. I mean, they put themselves together to build this team and bring it to this far. Well, we come here to win, but we will just stick to all the game plans that we have to go through.
As the tournament is just a day away to the crowning of the 2023 championships, the Menjails are looking at staggering the victory count for the defending premiers and even claim the title. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
While a number of Easter tournaments are currently underway in the nation's capital, the Money Ball Tournament, which is an initiative of the Port Moresby Men's Softball Association, took to the Bicini Diamonds some Easter softball action that started on Friday.
Having come to existence in 2019, the Moneyball Tournament is a concept introduced by the Port Moresby Men's Softball Association, and this will be the second edition for the tournament. 10 teams have registered in the competition, and the teams are rewarded 50 kina for every innings that they score. The Moneyball tournament concept is further detailed by the tournament manager, Constantine Bice.
This is the second time we'll be running the tournament this weekend. This is hosted by Port Moresby Softball Men's Association. So we have a total of 10 teams, 8 teams from Port Moresby and 2 teams from Lae, the Marlins and Bismarck.
The tournament ran for 3 days and ended today with the finals playoff at the Bicini Diamonds in Port Moresby. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
Meanwhile, following the completion of day number 3 of the National Souths Basketball League tournament today at the Taurama Aquatic and Indoor Centre, the game's president, Silas Nicky, commended all the participating clubs for having displayed true sportsmanship throughout the past 3 days.
Thank you to all the teams that have come outside from the provinces. And now we are in the 3rd day of the competition. And I'd like to say thank you to all the teams and all the management, officials, sponsors that have been good in these 3 days. So far, we haven't had any issue or disruption. I think we have been in good terms of, meeting every conditions that we are trying to face. But otherwise, we are in the 3rd day of the competition and everything is running smoothly.
And Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports now, and Canberra Raiders have ended Brisbane's unbeaten start to NRL season, running out winners 20 points to 14 at Lang Park.
Both teams scored 3 tries, but the perfect kicking of Jared Croker was the difference in the 6-point victory. The win was just Canberra's 2nd of the season. Raiders winger Jordan Rapana scored 2 tries, but was later canted from the field after suffering a gruesome head injury after contact with Broncos prop Martin Papal. In Saturday's earlier match, Dylan Edwards scored 4 tries as Penrith moved to 2nd after thrashing Manly 44 points to 12.
In AFL, Port Adelaide has completed a stunning fight back to earn a 2-point victory against the Sydney Swans at TSCG.
Hitting the front with just 2 minutes to go, the Power then watched on as Swans midfielder Ollie Florent missed a set shot to win the match after the siren, holding on to secure a 9 goals 12-66 to 9 goals 10-64 victory. Power forward Jeremy Finlayson kicked 3 goals in the win. In Saturday's other matches, St Kilda thrashed Gold Coast by 53 points to move to the top of the ladder. Adelaide beat Fremantle by 39 points and the Western Bulldogs hung on to defeat Richmond.
In Super Rugby, the Rebels have been defeated by the Blues in their Super Rugby Pacific contest in Melbourne by 54 points to 17.
The Rebels led 17-13 at half-time, but the Auckland-based side cut loose in that second half to score 41 unanswered points. The Blues are in 5th position while the Rebels remain 9th. In the Super W match, the Western Force ended a 13-game losing streak with a 13-5 win against the Rebels.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, all centers cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Momase region, all centers cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Kavieng and Buka cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorm. Kimbe, Kokopo and Rabaul cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Highlands region, all centers cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorm and possibility of flooding.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 9th of April 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.